So for the folks engaged on the webcast, this is a restaurant in China. It's newly opened and completely automated. So we see someone to greet visitors as they come in. We can see very clean environment, clean tables, video showing. Now we're getting into the kind of the kitchen area. A machine is pouring beer, maybe making a cocktail here. So there's accurately dispensing the different parts of the drink, shaking it up like a good robot might do, and pouring it into a glass, presumably with accurate measures. And then we look as though we're looking at the ordering experience on an iPad, now looking at how cooking is being done in the kitchen, very production line kind of putting ingredients into mixing bowls and steaming and cooking, and then dispensing it onto a plate. The plate's then being pushed onto some kind of transport system that goes up into the ceiling and is being transported around the restaurant. When it finds the right guest that the food is for, it kind of rolls down onto a little pulley system and lands in front of the restaurant guest, and they can remove the food, and then the thing returns to its home base back in the kitchen. And then we've got some kind of more factory-oriented robots that are doing other kind of mixings, that making different kinds of foods. Looks like it might be a hamburger that was just constructed and now again put on this trolley system to be sent off to the guest. Interesting, the industrial robot is kind of dressed up to look like a person who's so it's kind of got a face on it where you don't see that normally on industrial robots, and making desserts and putting crinkly things on top of the dessert. So it's all, we could assume precisely measured. And we see the other kind of robot delivery system, which is a machine that goes around the restaurant as opposed to dropping it from the ceiling. So it's another kind of delivery system there. Again, industrial arm kind of robots moving things around, dispensing things to be cooked. So more of the same kind of thing, and it finishes up with the logo of the news team that put this out. So interesting stimulus that we'd say, well, this is a potential future for an automated restaurant. What do you think about it, William?
Yeah, I think it's a shining example of what would be the peak of what you can do, and that's just showing off all the different options, right? Yeah. It's not that you need to do all of that, but that can give you a lot of ideas, like, oh, I can automate a part of my business or my model. I can use this or that idea to improve on this automation of this process that can help me on these moments that we're having to change our business models and things like that. So this can give us a lot of ideas, right? And the automation in robotics is something that sometimes you as a business person doesn't think it's on your reach. And these ideas of having this full of robots restaurants may not be like the most effective or efficient for them, but this is an example. So then we can say, oh, maybe I can get a robot for my restaurant, or a machine to flip my burgers, or a tablet system to pick up the orders. So this is a very good reference for
I completely agree. As you know, William, I live in Miami, and we have often concept restaurants are introduced here. In fact, many years ago, Starbucks brought in a coffee store here where you could go and use a little tablet to select music that whilst you waited for your coffee, they would burn a CD for you. And so you could walk away from it never really took off. It never, but it was them trying out a concept store. And I think you're absolutely right. This feels like the Chinese have set up a concept restaurant to expose what's possible. But humans are just so adaptable at doing things like cleaning up a mess or changing the recipe. So an automation, it really needs to be a fixed kind of menu. You might say I want more sauce or less sauce, but there's going to be some limits on the flexibility probably, where a chef can be incredibly flexible.
Yeah, it's interesting because like one type of automation that happens, and that depends a lot on what we discussed the other day about the levels of service and the types of restaurants that there is. Like you have a restaurant that is just serving food. It doesn't matter the service, doesn't matter the experience, nothing, just food. So then you can get a ghost kitchen that just makes the food and has a delivery. In that way, that's highly automatized. You can have a lot of things automatic there, and then you have this packaged food and everything's ready. You get the orders from an app, and the delivery guy can be a third party or not. There's several ways to do that. And on this level, there's a high level of automation. And one of this example of that is pizza. Like you get pizza from the app. You hardly, I myself in Brazil, I order from, I go into WhatsApp and I have the account of the place I ask pizza. And when I speak on the WhatsApp, I'm not speaking to a person, I'm speaking to a chatbot. So then this chatbot sometimes will redirect me to an app, a web app with a link. And there you can just click on the pizzas that you want. And it's if you want soda with it or not, what's the flavor, everything is automatized. And then you just press a button, and then there's a box in the end. That's what's exactly you say, what you want custom.
Yeah.
One thing I do custom here is we love chicken with catupiry cream cheese. It's a Brazilian thing. So, but we want to divide the pizza in 3 flavors, but we don't want to divide it exactly in 3 sections. We want the catupiry cream cheese to be bigger than the other ones. So we want half the pizza to be catupiry, and then the other half
You
divided.
sound like a difficult customer.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that, it's hard to automatize that. Like, how can you